English. I knew hello, goodbye, and thank you, but that was about it. I always wanted to speak English well, just like my teacher, Miss Emily. She spoke English so beautifully, and I dreamed of speaking like her one day. It all started when my family moved to a new town. I was excited, but also a little nervous, because I knew I would have to start school soon, and everything would be in English. I was scared that I wouldn't be able to make friends or understand my teachers. But my mom told me something important. Lily, don't worry. Learning a new language is like going on an adventure. You will meet new people, learn new things, and soon you will speak English like it's your own language. I liked the idea of going on an adventure, so I decided to be brave and give it my best try. Chapter 2, The First Day at School. The first day of school was a mix of excitement and fear. I wore my favorite pink dress and my shiny new shoes. When I walked into the classroom, I saw many kids laughing and talking to each other. It seemed like everyone knew each other already. I felt a little lost, but then Miss Emily came over to me. "Hello, Lily," she said with a big smile. "Welcome to our class." I smiled back and said, "Hello, Miss Emily." My voice was small, but I was happy I could at least say that. Miss Emily showed me my seat, and I sat down next to a girl named Sarah. Sarah had a friendly face and curly brown hair. She smiled at me, and I smiled back. "Hi, I'm Sarah," she said. "Hi, I'm Lily," I replied. Sarah asked me a few more questions, but I didn't understand everything she said. I just nodded and smiled. It was hard because I wanted to talk to her, but I didn't know how to say all the things I wanted to say in English. Chapter 3, Making Friends. At recess, I saw Sarah playing with some other kids. I wanted to join them, but I was too shy. Then I remembered what my mom had said about going on an adventure. So I took a deep breath and walked over to them. "Can I play too?" I asked. "Of course," Sarah said. "We're playing tag. You can be it first." I didn't know all the rules of the game, but I watched the other kids and learned quickly. As we played, I tried to listen carefully to what everyone was saying. I didn't understand every word, but I started to get the idea of what they were talking about. Later, when we were all tired from running, Sarah sat next to me and started talking about her favorite TV show. I didn't know much about the show, but I listened carefully. Even though I couldn't say much, I tried to repeat some of the words she used. I learned that listening was very important if I wanted to speak English better. Chapter 4, Practice Makes Perfect. As the days went by, I practiced English every day. I listened to my teachers, watched cartoons in English, and tried to speak with my classmates. At first, it was hard, and sometimes I made mistakes. But Miss Emily always told me, "Lily, it's okay to make mistakes. That's how we learn." One day, Miss Emily gave us an assignment. We had to write a short story in English. I was nervous because I didn't know if I could write a whole story in English. But then I remembered all the words and phrases I had been learning. I decided to write about a little cat who went on an adventure to find a rainbow. I used simple words and short sentences, and when I didn't know a word, I asked Miss Emily for help. When I finished, I was so proud of myself. It wasn't a long story, but it was my first story in English. When Miss Emily read my story, she smiled and said, "Lily, this is wonderful. You did a great job." Hearing those words made me feel so happy. I realized that every time I practiced, I got a little better, and the more I practiced, the more confident I became. Chapter 5, Speaking with Confidence. One day, Miss Emily announced that we would have a show and tell in class. Each student had to bring something special from home and talk about it in front of the class. I was excited, but also a little scared. wasn't sure if I could speak in front of everyone. I decided to bring my favorite doll. Her name was Daisy, and she had been my best friend since I was a baby. When it was my turn, I walked to the front of the class with Daisy in my arms. I took a deep breath and started to speak. "This is Daisy," I said. "She is my favorite doll. My grandma gave her to me when I was a baby. Daisy is very special to me because she has been with me all my life." As I talked, I noticed that my classmates were listening carefully. Some of them smiled, and that made me feel better. I continued, "Daisy is soft and has a blue dress. I like to play with her when I am happy or when I am sad. She always makes me feel better." When I finished, everyone clapped. I felt so proud. I had spoken in front of the whole class in English, and they understood me. Miss Emily gave me a big thumbs up and said, "Great job, Lily. You spoke so clearly and confidently." Chapter 6. Tips for Speaking English. Fluently. As time went on, I kept practicing my English, and I started to feel more comfortable speaking. I even made new friends who spoke different languages, but we all tried our best to speak English together. It was fun to learn from each other. One day, I was talking to my friend Sarah, and she asked me, "Lily, how did you get so good at speaking English?" I thought about it and realized that there were a few things that really helped me. I want to share them with you too. 1. Listen carefully. When I first started learning English, I listened to everything. I listened to my teachers, my friends, and even the TV shows I watched. The more I listened, the more words and phrases I learned. 2. Don't be afraid to speak. At first, I was scared to speak because I thought I might make mistakes. But I learned that it's okay to make mistakes. Everyone makes mistakes when they are learning something new. The important thing is to keep trying. 3. Practice. Every day. I practiced English every day, even if it was just a little bit. I talked to my friends, asked my teachers questions, and even talked to myself in English when I was alone. The more I practiced, the better I got. 4. Ask for help. Whenever I didn't know a word or didn't understand something, I asked for help. My teachers and friends were always happy to help me. It's important to ask questions when you don't understand. 5. Be patient. Learning a new language takes time. Sometimes I felt like I wasn't improving, but I reminded myself to be patient. I knew that if I kept practicing, I would get better. 6. Have fun. I tried to have fun while learning English. I played games, sang songs, and watched cartoons in English. When learning is fun, it doesn't feel like work. Chapter 7. The Big Surprise. As the school year went on, I continued to improve my English. One day, Miss Emily made a big announcement. She said, "Next week, we will have a special visitor at our school. The mayor of our town will come to visit, and she wants to meet some of our students." Everyone was excited, but then Miss Emily said something that made my heart race. "Lily, I would like you to speak to the mayor and tell her about our class. You have made so much progress in your English, and I know you will do a great job." I couldn't believe it. Miss Emily had chosen me to speak in front of the mayor. I was nervous, but I also felt proud. This was my chance to show how much I had learned. Chapter 8. The Mayor's Visit. The day of the mayor's visit finally arrived. I wore my best dress and made sure Daisy, my doll, was with me for support. When the mayor came into our classroom, everyone stood up and said, "Good morning, Madam Mayor." The mayor smiled and said, "Good morning, children. I'm so happy to be here today." Miss Emily introduced me, and I walked to the front of the class. My heart was beating fast, but I remembered all the things I had learned. I took a deep breath and began learn to speak English. At the beginning of the year, I didn't know much English, but with the help of my teachers and friends, I have learned a lot. As I spoke, I could see that the mayor was listening carefully. I told her about our show and TL, the story I wrote about the little cat, and how I practiced English every day. When I finished, the mayor clapped and said, "Lily, you're a wonderful speaker. You have done an amazing job learning English." I couldn't believe it. The mayor was proud of me, and so was Miss Emily. I felt like I was on top of the world. Chapter 9. A New Adventure. After the mayor's visit, I felt even more confident in my English. I knew that I could speak fluently if I kept practicing and learning. I also knew that I wanted to help others who were learning English too. So, I started a little group with my friends where we could practice English together. We played games, told stories, and helped each other with difficult words. One day, Miss Emily asked me if I would like to help some of the younger students who were just starting to learn English. I was so happy. I knew how it felt to be new and not understand everything. I wanted to be there for them, just like my friends and teachers had been there for me. So, I began helping the younger kids with their English. I taught them the same tips that helped me. Listen carefully. Don't be afraid to speak. Practice every day. Ask for help. Be patient. And have fun. It was wonderful to see them improve and become more confident, just like I had. Chapter 10. The Road to Fluency. As time went on, I kept getting better at English. I read more books, watched more shows, and talked with my friends every day. I also kept helping the younger kids, and it made me happy to see them succeed. One day, Miss Emily gave us a special project. We had to write a letter to our future selves. She told us to write about our dreams and what we wanted to achieve. I thought about it for a long time, and then I started writing. "Dear future Lily," I wrote, "I hope you are doing well. By now, you must be very good at English. I hope you have traveled to many places and made many new friends. Remember to always keep learning and helping others, and never forget how far you've come. Keep going on adventures, and always be brave." When I finished the letter, I felt so proud. I knew that learning English was just the beginning of my adventure. There were so many more things to learn, and so many more people to meet, and I was ready for it all. So, that's my story. I hope it inspires you to keep learning and practicing English. Remember, it's okay to make mistakes, and it's okay to ask for help. Learning a new language is like going on an adventure. There will be challenges along the way, but with hard work and patience, you will succeed. Just like I did. Good luck on your own adventure.